I'm Ian Thomas, editor of Front Office Sports. I'm joined here by Maribeth Towers, Senior Vice President of Consumer Products for Major League Soccer. Maribeth, it's a really exciting season ahead for MLS. 25th year, 25th season here in 2020. Have an exciting new line of jerseys coming out to celebrate that. Yep. Tell me a little bit about the plans for the season ahead.
So the planning started 2 years ago. Specific to the jerseys, the planning started 2 years ago with Adidas. We met with them in the offices in Herzogenaurach in Germany and talked about the fact that the 25th season was coming up. What did they want to do? They came back and they fairly quickly came back with this concept of the EQT jerseys. So the EQT jersey is an iconic jersey from back in the 90s. So that was where the connection started, right? We started in 96. This jersey for them was an early 90s jersey that they introduced with 3 stripes across the shoulder, the specific collar. It's been updated from that jersey. When you see those early pictures, you'll see it looks quite different. But they were really excited about that concept. And then coming to us one step further and saying, and we would really like every team for this 1 year, for this one jersey, to wear this EQT striping. So that was kind of where it all started, and then it went from there. The second ask was about a year ago with regards to the event that'll be on on February 5th. Once we'd kind of gotten through the initial design process against the jerseys with the clubs, they came back and said, and here's the second ask, we would really like to reveal them on one night all at once. And we took a beat because, as you know, the jersey reveal for the clubs is a very important part of their start of season. They plan it well in advance, especially for this 25th season year. So it took a few rounds of conversations on conference calls with all the clubs to just kind of talk it through. But in the end, once we had sort of had all those conversations, they all came back and said, you know what, we get it, we love it. For this 1 year, it's a great idea. So yeah.
I mean, more broadly in the consumer product space right now, the league's been picking up a number of licensees, a number of different products. What are you sort of seeing right now? What are the best trends for the league in terms of things that are selling well?
Oh gosh, I mean, I think one of the exciting partnerships that have come on board recently is New Era, as the official sideline headwear partner. And they've got a massive following and they're huge equity in that brand. So I think that was really exciting, both for the players, frankly, and for the fans. And that product is doing really well. I think, a lot of the new work that we're doing with Mitchell & Ness, we brought a lot of new brands on that are really fun for the fans that have good tradition in the other sports. So it's a great add-on for us. I think from Adidas' standpoint, they've done some really interesting things with some of the themed jerseys. So you're familiar with the ones that we do in conjunction with Earth Week. It's Prime Blue is the brand that it'll be under for this coming year, and it's made from the recycled plastic out of the oceans. That has resonated really well with our fan base. That whole sustainability conversation is extremely important, to our fans. And then this last year, I think you're probably also aware, they also did some themed jerseys for some of the big theme nights that the clubs have been doing for quite some time. So Pride Night, celebrating 4th of July during the month of July. A lot of them do military appreciation nights, things like that. And again, those jerseys, that was a test. They really sold out within 24 hours in most cases. Yeah, crazy. So
scarves are always the item
perennial
for a soccer fan. I mean, how do you keep that sort of product hot, making people buy them each year? What's your advice to clubs as they try to do that?
It's our baseball cap. Roughneck, again, really strong partner for us, and they've been with us for quite some time. They were a sub-licensee with Adidas, that's their life. That's what they do. So they are extremely good at working, and they work really closely with the clubs, right? So they have a lot of conversations directly with the clubs in terms of what are the storytelling that's going to be important to the club that particular season. They will help them celebrate any types of anniversaries. They will help them celebrate rivalries. So they do a lot of sort of deep diving with the clubs, and I think that's what keeps it fresh.
Soccer products or soccer sort of styled stuff really push more into the mainstream.
Yeah.
How is the league sort of trying to take advantage of that opportunity and make sure that it fills into those sort of roles?
Yeah, and Adidas has really been strong in that space for at least 2-3 years now. They've had this whole stadium to street concept because of that, right? It was something they observed in the marketplace, and now they've responded to that and said, so first and foremost, the jerseys are created for the players, right? They have to perform, they have to be comfortably, right? And secondly, they have to represent the club brands in the right way. But they have also made a real effort to play into the fact that they've recognized that fans like to wear them, not just for the day of the match, but on Friday night hanging out with friends at a bar. So they keep that in their design sensibility when they're looking at how they're designing the jersey. They want to make sure it's good for the player, good for the club, but also it looks good with jeans.
25 years in now at this point for the league. I mean, give me your sort of thought on how the consumer product side will evolve further going forward. I mean, are there things that, I'm not going to ask you to take out a crystal ball and guess 25 years from now what products we'll have, but where do you sort of see opportunities for the league to grow still, or where are some categories that you think you could dive a little bit deeper into?
Well, I think the whole fanwear side of the business, we still have a lot of growth opportunity. So again, bringing on some of the new partners like A New Era, they're just getting started. So we expect to see that part of the business really explode. And same for Adidas. They've also, so things like, the Anthem jacket, the jacket that the players walk out on, that's something that they put into place, a handful of years ago. That really has started to create a big tradition. I think we're now looking at other key pieces within the player's bag to have that same conversation about. The travel hoodie, is it, what other piece that's important to the players that we can then bring to the fans in a new way. The new clubs. Every time we have an expansion team, to your point, we bolt on a whole new, group of fans, which is great. So I think there's a lot of just organic growth opportunity beyond who, to your point, 25 years from now, who knows what the tech capabilities and the types of things that, they're bringing out in the general marketplace will be. You're right, I have no crystal ball into that.
Fair enough. So like you said, you have this opportunity where, typically these are local launches. Now you're bringing this all together for this Forward 25 event. What exactly is that experience going to be like? What are you sort of aiming for to do something when you do that event?
So I think it was obviously, the moment for the 25th celebration was what was the impetus for the conversation, but we also wanted to make sure, because it's so important for each of the clubs, that it really still told their story. So one of the key pieces is every single model for each of the 26 clubs was chosen by the club and has a very direct connection to that club in some way. And it's a really varied mix. It'll be, when we have the event, you'll see it's going to be really fun. But that was really important, so that'll be one of the key factors. And then there will be a lot of footage and photography that'll be captured and pushed out to the clubs that evening so that they can tell that story on a local basis that night. The other partner that got very excited when they found out what we were doing was EA Sports. So they are also creating the jerseys, sort of an in-game snippet video for each of the clubs. And then they will do a patch that they will release on the 11th of February, which I don't think they've really ever done before for an entire league. So all of the FIFA players will be able to upload all the new jerseys on the 11th. So I think there's a lot of great sort of central national storytelling that'll happen because of the event and it being a single moment, but we wanted to make absolutely sure that every single club had their opportunity to amplify it and tell their own story so that they didn't miss out on that opportunity.
It's interesting, you have like something like EMLS now where people see these jerseys a little bit more.
I'm so glad you brought that up. That was, I'm sorry, I forgot them. So the other piece of this on the 6th, we are going to send out a gift box for an unboxing to each of the club's EMLS players. So the next day, they will receive their jersey, unbox, and be able to talk about it to their fan base.